Yeah, the main thrust of my mission here uh, is to try and persuade as many people as I can reach that betting flat or betting randomly against tilted table games, negative expectation propositions, whatever you want to call them, in a casino or online or wherever you find these games, it's a crap plan. But part of what I'm trying to get across, the part of the message I'm trying to get across, is that anybody who plays games, Snatch 22 games, I like to call them, where the dealer 22 is a push, is, well, I think just plain dumb. It's ridiculous, but it's enthusiastically promoted by the shills, especially the king of the shills, Vegas Matt, who demonstrates day after day after day that he doesn't give a shit about players, people watching his show, whatever you call it. He's there for the casino business. He's there promoting irresponsible, ridiculous, dangerous, stupid, reckless gambling. That is his job. My job is to tell you that Vegas Matt and all the other shills are not on your side. And if you're dumb enough to believe that they are, then you probably deserve to lose your money. That's just, that's just my opinion. Anyway, PaulyC has an interesting thing going with his channel, as anybody who's been there knows well. Sometimes he's playing with his own money, and sometimes he's sort of peering over the shoulder of somebody else and letting them rip with their money. And the beauty of that, of course, is that when I do an analysis, as I often do, of the shills, the Degen Dolts and the Vegas Mats and the Mr. Handpays and so on, there's always this uncomfortable feeling that they're playing stupidly because that's their job, and also they're not really in jeopardy because at the end of the day they get their money back, either through comps and all sorts of gifts and promo chips and all that kind of stuff from the casinos, or an income that they get from Google. So it's not really fair. Now, the people that Paulie C ropes in for his sessions, his shows, when he's not betting himself, are real people, it seems to me, betting, risking real money. And so I think that's more relevant, really, than anything that I can glean from the Vegas Mats and others. Anyway, this was a dealer 22. Another one here. Another one here. This was, yes, also a dealer 22. Of course it is. I can't even read my own little signs there. What happened here? Oh yeah, this was crap. Definitely this guy deserved better than this, but this is blackjack, isn't it? I don't like double decks for sure. Because the runs when they come are too short, because there's a shuffle, within, I don't know, like it's a third of the time that it takes with a shoe, maybe even less than that. So you've got a chance in a shoe where you get clumping that works for you, and you'll get a long plus run. You will also, of course, see some prolonged mean streaks, but the main thing is you've got to be smart enough to get up and walk away from mean streaks, or to pull way back on your bets during a prolonged mean streak, gag, get up and go, or cut your bet until you get a win trigger and then go back into the fray. But do it aggressively. That's how you make money against these games. Let me see, what have I got next here? I've got oh yeah, this is a perfect example of why I'm always saying to people, don't bet two hands. It's ridiculous. And of course, what happens to you is every time you do this, and this is 40,000 on the table there. Every time you do this, there's a risk that the dealer is going to get a pat hand, a 20 or a 21. There's always the risk that the dealer is going to beat you if you've got two stiffs. But basically, pat hands are what really make two hands a bad idea. But loads of people absolutely love to play that way. I would say it's stupid, but I'm biased against these things. I think the smart way to play blackjack is focus on one hand. Put all your energy, all your effort, all your money behind just one hand. But like I say, lots of people love to do this, and I just think it's just not a good idea. Next shot. Oh yeah, this was really strange, and I should reiterate the obvious, which is that with all of these people, betting with their money, it's their money, their choice. If they want to be dumb, they have that right. In this particular case, I was gobsmacked to see this guy not hitting his 15 against a 7. If he had hit it, he would have caught this 7 and bust with a 22, but his 20 over here would have been fine, because the dealer would have caught that 5 and would have had a losing hand. So that would be a push. 20,000 lost, 20,000 won, and but like I say in the little note here, what they say about hindsight, always 20/20. But the thing with these games is, don't take ridiculous risks. This was really dumb. With a solid 20. I mean, hands don't get much better than that. And if you want to hit it against a 4/5 or double it against a 4/5 or 6, well, maybe. But against a 7, I don't think so. But like I say, his money, his choice. He doesn't seem to be that stupid, this guy. Although, what can I say? Last one, what happened here? He hit 13 and saved both hands, basically, because otherwise that 3 would have gone over here and the dealer would have had 19 and grabbed a shitload of money, 40 grand. So it's, same always with these games. Swings and roundabouts. That's the name of the whole setup there, isn't it? So anyway, moving on, I'll do the Excel thing on this part 1, and then I'm going to do part 2 and 3 separately. And the reason that I keep on analyzing hands that you can verify, outcomes that you can verify, is precisely for that reason, because the outcomes, the results are verifiable. And I get prats, twits, pricks, wallies, whatever, pillocks, telling me all the time that I'm manipulating data, that I'm just using stuff that makes me look good. That would be so incredibly stupid. But obviously there are a lot of people out there who think that I'm incredibly stupid and that I've been doing this online for 30 years come the end of September, well, mid-September actually. Just to pull wool over the eyes of the people who watch me more recently, and also who read the blog. The blog has been in existence on Google for 15 years, 16 years, something like that. I think it might even be 17 years, but it's a long time. And there are people who actually think that I'm cheating, and it just, what kind of sense would that make? But whatever. So I'll continue in a mo. Okay, well, I owe a special debt of gratitude to PaulyC this time for introducing all of us to a guy who does absolutely everything that the casinos want all of us to do, and looks like a hero if you only look at the money, the profit he made this time. 70,000, wowzer. But it's 3% of his total action, and there was a player edge for him this time, which was 2.9%. And if you look at the 2 tracks here, this being the actual value, in other words, flat betting, and this guy was flat betting, except for the fact that he bet 15,000 the first 2 rounds, and then after that he was betting 20,000, 20,000, 20,000 all the way from beginning to end. And and obviously betting two hands, which is dumb, but it's his money, do what he wants, but it's just not a good idea. And then he also was betting against double deck blackjack, which some people like, but which, in my experience, which is a very long experience, seeing as how I was living and playing in Nevada on a regular basis for almost 40 years, it's just a bad game. I always found that single deck was dangerous, double deck was dangerous, and it gets less and less nasty once you get into shoes, 6 and 8 deck shoes. But the big thing is, when you get into trouble, act sensibly. Don't do a crazy Cody burn money and keep shoving money out by the bucket load. Just either get out of there, get up and go, gag, as I like to call it, or reduce your bet, keeping in mind your target and the full value of your bet. In other words, if you're betting $1,000 around and then you decide to fall back to, say, 300, as soon as you get a win trigger, you go back to the full value bet and proceed from there. But I mean, I've demonstrated that so many times in my own sort of, yes, they're simulated videos. I'm playing against sims, but that's because I can't play in a casino with real money doing this because they won't let me. I mean, I haven't tried with video, I must confess, because I've been back in this country, back in the UK now for a little over 12 years. And I didn't start doing YouTube and doing videos until about 3 years ago. But a very long time ago, I asked the casino that I was treated with most generosity by if I could just run a digital recorder, a digital voice recorder, so that I could narrate my bets, the amounts and win or loss and so on. And they said, nope, 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 no chance, absolutely no chance. No electronic devices allowed within 1,000,000 miles of the casino, and we'll throw you out in your ear if you do anything like that. So anyway, that's a different story. But now, of course, thanks to shills like Vegas Matt and Crazy Cody Burn Money and Mr. Handpay, Jason Balky, and Bobby Rivas and Bretsky and all the others, all of them basically in the pay of the casino biz, promoting stupid gambling. Thanks to their popularity, casinos now allow everybody to video everything. They certainly wouldn't let me. I guarantee you, they would not let me, do my thing. Running basically a lesson in how to beat tilted table games in a casino. Anyway, back to the point of all of this. 2.9% was the actual value. It was a slight player edge. I think his name was Norman, but I'm not sure. That could have been the name of the dealer for all I know. But anyway, I've put Norman in here. He improved that enormously from 2.9% to 3%. His exposure was, I think 100,000 is probably about right. No, that's not quite right. It should be minus 20,000, because that's what he bet all the time. I mean, you look at this win number here and you think, ooh, 70,000. But that's only 3.5 units when he's betting 20,000 all the time. I mean, it's just so weird. He, of course, managed to be the exception that proves the rule, in that he made 2 units on his extra hands down here. And I always tell folks, but please don't do that. Don't waste your money, because every time the house gets, the dealer gets a pat hand, you're toast. Unless, of course, you get better pat hands, but that doesn't happen very often, does it? I mean, let's be real. 31 wins in this lot, 29 losses. Not a huge number of hands, but it's wonderful for me because it exactly demonstrates what I'm always talking about in these videos. If you bet flat, you're a fool. If you bet randomly, you're a fool. and you deserve to be parted from your money. It's really that simple. I will be interested to see what part two and part three are like with this $500,000 better. I thought about waiting and putting all three of them together, but then I watched his part one and I thought, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And he has the right to be as dumb as he wants. Everybody has the right to be as dumb as they want. But this guy agreed to be, put under the spotlight, to be filmed. Sorry, I'm just dealing with my bright sunshine in my face here. So he basically allows himself, or even sets himself up, to be criticised. Critiqued is not the right word. That's an Americanization. The word is criticised. A critique is a criticism, and there's no verb critique, but there is in America, because America has always known better how to speak English than us poor ignorant English people. And I did actually once, years ago, while I was in America, have somebody ask me, what language do they speak in England? And you're sort of left gobsmacked by that sort of ignorance, but there's a lot of it about, even more so these days, it would seem. Anyway, exposure 120,000. He came out with a 70 grand profit. Who knows what happens in the next lot of parts 2 and 3. I will follow up with those, but what you're looking at is, I mean, look at this. It's identical. And how could it be anything else, since he's betting flat? It's just astounding. Anyway, what did pattern betting do? Algae turned 2.9% into 47%. And his action was, oh, that's absolute bloody nonsense right here. Oh, what a twit. We're talking about, let me pause for a moment while I fix that. Ay, ay, ay. When am I going to be able to get good help? Okay, apologies for the oopsie. So there it is, 47% for pattern betting, just a crummy 9% of Norman's, if that's his name, of Norman's win of 70,000, but 1% of Norman's action of over 2 million. Indicated outcome here, 365, which is, this multiplied by my action would give an indicated, suggested, probable, likely, whatever you want to call it, expected outcome of a win of 365, and instead Algae pulled in 6,100. And I want to say again that I never change the algorithm. I don't do a damn thing with it. I leave it alone. What would be the point of me fixing it? I mean, I do get people accusing me of cheating once in a while, and it's just so bloody stupid. I mean, why on earth would somebody spend all the years that I've spent doing this and cheat? I mean, it's so easy to catch me out. And of course, the advantage to me of using material like the stuff that PaulyC puts up all the time is that is verifiable data. You can check it out. You can say, okay, well, let's just see if he's telling the truth, and if that's really what happened, if those are the outcomes, and if they're blah, 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 You can do all of that. There is one little wrinkle up here, of course, and that is that I absolutely refuse to start afresh every time, because these guys are always, these professional losers are always walking away. Losers, they give up after, say, 6 consecutive losses, losing hands, and they just walk away, and then they start over brand new the next time they sit down. Pattern betting does not permit that. You don't walk away until you've either hit your bust limit, which never happens, or you've achieved turnaround, and then you say, okay, that's it, I'm cashing out, I'm done. So this is a rollover from last time, which you can see, whoever this was, it was probably Degen Dolt, walked away after 4 consecutive losses. Another loss here, and then bing, bing, bing. We're back in the money, in the chips. So that's the story basically this time. I mean, I can't really say very much more about it. I was just fascinated by this guy because I don't think I've ever seen anybody bet worse. And if you look at the difference between, taking a 3% player edge in the data set and turning it into 47%, and what he did, which is taking a 2.9% player edge and turning it into 3%. I mean, for Christ's sake, indicated outcome, given his extraordinary 2.3 million worth of action, indicated outcome there is a win of damn near what he won. 66,286 and he made 70,000. So I mean, this guy is, like I say, he's like a poster boy for this is how we want you to play. We want you to bring lots of money to the table, and we want you to bet like a prat, and we want you to bet flat, and as soon as things turn against you, we will get your money. That's the way it is. And I don't honestly, I don't mean to be insulting to Norman or whatever, but I'm left kind of just open mouthed at this kind of behavior because it is exactly what the casinos want. PaulyC doesn't behave this way. When he's betting with his money, he follows a strategy. It's not a strategy I agree with. It's one which I've tested against about 60 million outcomes, and it just doesn't bloody well work. But again, his money, his choice. He can do what he wants. So anyway, that's the end of this little session. And I'll come back with more of Norman or whatever his name is, and let's hope he does better. But if he keeps betting like this, he's going to need a monster plus run to hang on to his measly 3.5 units worth of profit moving forward. We will see.